a unique game. Hello guys, today we're going to review a new game that's called the Spell Brigade. To preface, I played with the three of my other friends in this game and we each have somewhat differing opinion on aspect of the game. I'm also not quite experienced in survivor type games, but I do have a few under my belt and I haven't put many hours into many different roguelike games, as this is one of my favorite genres. I am also mostly a casual gamer and this is my first review, but I understand that I do not seriously look into the number and interesting of the game mechanics with too tight of a lens, so I understand that all of it is just my opinion on the game. At the end of the day I paid $8 for this game and I feel I have gotten my money's worth out of it. My major concern are with some of the level up mechanics such as argumentation. It does not make a lot of sense to give player 2 argumentation options, with one being a regular level of opinion. This is because you only get 4 argumentation per fun EF to complete all of the objects. Because of this, you are heavily incentivized to pick every time. In fact, I do not personally see any situation where you would not pick the argumentation. Therefore, I feel you should always get their argumentation or be allowed to use your rerolls on argumentation or both. My friends suggest making the third options always a legendary instead, but I disagree with it, as I still see myself picking the argument. This is one of my major complaints because arguments provide an aspect of compelling gameplay. So should I ever give up a compelling argument for a level up reward, I get at least 50 of on an average run. You also cannot reroll new spell and influsions. Again, they are some of the most impactful and compelling decisions of each run, and I feel like I have little to no control over them. While the new spells are not really that bad to have a reroll for infusion have been a pain point for some of my friends, I only bring up the idea of adding rerolls to spell and infusion because the developers plan on adding more infusion to spell and as they add more to argument for rerolls, and this will only become stronger and stronger. But for now, this is not a problem in my opinion, especially since there are only 4 infusion. Maybe at later points there can be 3 infusion choose instead of 2. My other concern is that relic, in comparison to some of the other mechanics, feels somewhat stale. My friends do agree on this issue. The reason why we see them as stale is because they do not really have any build-defined qualities, as one of my friends stated. In other words, the relics are very niche and do not really have much impact on the run aspect, like 2 or 3. For example, the armor lock and movement speed seems like go to relic in any building, whereas the other seems very niche and slightly underwhelming to me. Some of the relic seems alright, but I would much rather some other relic other than. I will say that I have also not tried all of the relics to see how they fare, mostly because they do not fit my playstyle all that much. The problem with the relics being underwhelming is not because they are niche, but because they are so rare. I don't have a problem with them being niche if they are good in their niche, but they just also do not seem like the reward for getting them matches, things rarity of times, and game being enabled to reroll them is sought. I will not make any specific suggestion on how to change this, as I do not know if it is really that big of a problem. And I also do not know how I would make change to relic at this time. While on the topic of reroll, I would like to mention that the number of reroll you get is very sparse, especially since you can only use the same for level ups. Even if you could use them for arguments and relics, 3 rerolls at max is definitely not enough. My last concern is something I understand is an intentional mechanic of the game, because the developer statements on the inspiration behind the game something Helldivers too, and please, this is their intent. But I hate that my own spell can slow me to the point of not being able to move.